We want to get out to the breaking news. Sorry for that interruption, but we want to go to police right now, talking about an update on that fatal stabbing over the weekend.
As we speak, Midtown Hills Precinct detectives are swearing out arrest warrants charging Michael Mosley with 2 counts of criminal homicide and 1 count of attempted criminal homicide for the incident early Saturday at the Dogwood Bar. Mosley is being charged in the deaths of Clayton Bethard, age 22, and Paul Trapini, age 21, who, as you know, were fatally stabbed just before 3 a.m. across the street from the Dogwood Bar. Mosley has a violent criminal past. He is a convicted felon, convicted of violent crimes. We consider him to be a danger to the community, and we are asking everyone to please be on the lookout for him. If his friends or relatives have seen him, or if his friends or relatives are, for whatever reason, hiding him or harboring him, we urge them to call us immediately and let us know where Michael Mosley is. Our investigation to this point shows that Mosley made unwanted advancements toward a woman inside the Dogwood Bar. This woman was a friend of the victims. His actions led to a verbal dispute initially inside the bar, which led then to a physical fight outside the bar. The fight traveled across the street from the bar. During the fight, the investigation shows that Mosley was armed with a sharp object, and during that fight, the 2 victims were fatally stabbed. Their friend, a 21-year-old, was also injured. He has wounds to his arm and eye. That 21-year-old victim continues to recover. He is going to be okay. Again, Michael Mosley, wanted now by this police department, 2 counts of criminal homicide, 1 count of attempted criminal homicide. We consider him to be a danger to Middle Tennessee. Anyone seeing him or knowing where he is, please contact the Metro Police Department immediately or your local law enforcement agency. I want to ask Commander Kay Loki now to speak to you just a moment about the work of her team, who I need to say it's the holiday season, and her team has been working around the clock since Saturday morning, attempting to bring this case to some sort of semblance of a conclusion for the families of the victims. Commander Loki.
First, I'd like to give my condolences to the family. I can't imagine what they're experiencing, what they're going through. But I can assure these families that when the detectives arrived on the scene, they got busy. We don't stop. We keep going. And when I walked in Saturday morning, I had 5 detectives, 2 sergeants, and a lieutenant that had already been at work on this case. And as they continue to progress through the case, any tips, any information, any help from the public is needed. I've got a fantastic team doing some great work, but we can always use help.
I think I need to speak to you a moment about the video that the police department released on Saturday night. Mosley was among 4 persons depicted in that video who were wanted for questioning. Since Saturday night, we have interviewed 2 of those persons, 1 male, 1 female. 2 persons have not been interviewed, and we don't know where they are. One of those persons being Mosley, the other person in the Nike sweatshirt. We continue to try to confirm the name of the person in the Nike sweatshirt. We have some information about him, but we need more. This investigation is very much continuing. Just because the warrants are being issued tonight against Mosley does not mean that it's over. There is still a lot of work to do. I can tell you that we have met with the district attorney's office today, and there continues to be a lot of work to do, but it is important for the community to help us now get Michael Mosley off of the streets.
Is there any indication as to where he might be? Is he in the Nashville area?
At this point, we don't know where he is.
John, you mentioned there were other people with him. Any thoughts that there may be some additional murder charges for those who were with Mosley?
For now, we are focused on Mosley in that the investigation is showing that he was the person who had a sharp object during the fight, and we fully believe that he is the person who inflicted the stab wounds. Again, the investigation is still in full process. There is a lot still to be done.
Fair to call him a suspect at this point?
Who?
The main suspect, Mosley?
Mosley?
Mm-hmm.
Mosley, yeah, is a suspect. He is, in a short period of time, there will be 3 warrants issued for his arrest, 2 criminal homicide, 1 attempted criminal homicide.
I know he had a very violent past. Is there a reason why he was allowed to walk on the streets and not stay in jail?
The police department feels the community's frustration. I assure you, the police department feels the community's frustration. But remember, it's the police department's job to identify those persons responsible for crimes and bring them to the judicial system where things can be dealt with. The police department doesn't impose punishment. The police department's not in charge of incarceration. The police department's not in charge of sentencing. But looking at this man's past, the police department understands the community's frustration, and we sympathize with the community's frustration.
Does this establishment have security? How did the weapon get past the security? So, I mean, like each patron who goes is patted down before entering.
Well, what specifically happened inside the bar, we're not going to discuss at this point.
Will there
Okay.
be more security in the Midtown area around all those bars given this incident?
You know, with any major crime, we will always step up, extra patrol, but Midtown is 49 square miles. We have a large responsibility, but we will be in the area. We understand the fears and frustration of the whole situation, and we'll do our part to try to address those.
Don, you had mentioned the other, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the other men who were with Mosley, you spoke with, what, 2 of them, I think?
There were a total of 4 individuals, 3 men and a woman. Mosley, 2 other men, and a female. We have spoken or interviewed the female and 1 of the men.
And anything come up in their history in terms of any type of criminal background that would cause you all some concern?
Those persons have not been identified at this juncture publicly, and we have done interviews with them, and for the time being, at this point in the investigation, we're really not at liberty to discuss their information further.
You said a sharp object. What are you talking about, a knife or a screwdriver?
Just from what we know at this point, a sharp object. The autopsies were done on the 2 victims today, and obviously the autopsies show that they died from stab wounds.
And again, any reason to believe he had any help in these stabbings? Was he the only person you believe to have stabbed these people?
From what we know at present, yes.
Any extra
Okay.
patrols over the holiday weekend in the search?
Extra patrols in the...
Any extra efforts?
All right, you've been listening
Any extra
to
staff?
Don Aaron, spokesperson for Metro Police here in Nashville. Major development here, 3 warrants issued for Michael Mosley. We have been showing you his picture and we'll continue to do so here as we quickly wrap. We've got a crews at the scene that we're going to go to and get a live report in just a couple of minutes. But this all happening at the Dogwood Bar early Saturday morning. A 22-year-old and 21-year-old home from college break, went to Battleground Academy here in Franklin area and reuniting with friends. Just a horrific scene there. 2 killed, a 3rd person recovering in the hospital after being stabbed in the eye. So again, Michael Mosley, a very dangerous man. This is a picture of him. They believe that perhaps he was jilted at the bar after these 2 young guys tried to stand up for a woman there, and he ambushed them outside. That is what we believe happened. Police not talking much about that and those details, but they can't find him and they can't find another individual. They had pictures of 4 of them from surveillance video from inside that bar. So if you know anything about the whereabouts of this guy, please call police right away. Let's get this guy off the streets.